Okay, Assalamualaikum, selamat petang, very good afternoon. Welcome to our session today. Just as a brief introduction, we have today with us is Encik IR Zaini Abdul Wahab, who is an established energy management consultant and trainer. And today's program, Going Green with IoT and also energy management, is organized by KYM Tower, Mutiara Damansara. Now, to those who are not aware, KYM Tower is actually a designated MSC Cyber Center location. It was approved by the government in October 2019, and one of its, what do you call, niche value proposition for the building, for the office tower, is focusing on green and also energy management. So rightly for today's session, which is purely for knowledge sharing and also to address as a brief introduction, KYM Tower as well as Upnamics and also Encik Zaini, we are here to share and also impart some of Encik Zaini's expertise and knowledge on energy management and how IoT will be able to link, with the current IR 4.0, how IoT links with energy management. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Encik Zaini, and feel free to ask questions either through the chat room or during the session itself. And we hope that this will be a fruitful knowledge sharing session for everyone. Cik Zaini, I pass over to you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon. Thank you, Encik Razi and Encik Khairul from Upnamics. I think I'm honored today. Thankful to all of you for inviting me about 1 hour to share some knowledge, on energy management and how we can apply with IoT. I have to declare today, I'm not an IoT expert, right? Okay, so I'm not an IoT expert, but I think I can see how IoT will enhance, will make energy management either for other sector, become more effective, it become more so-called optimized in terms of getting the result that we wanted. So now we can see the slide, right?
Yeah, can you? You are able to share?
Okay, I can share my slide now. Okay, so everyone can see the slide.
Yes.
Okay, I have about according to the schedule, it's about 1 hour. Now we already 3:40, 2:40 anyway. But it's okay. Okay, we play around with that. Don't worry. Okay, inshallah. Okay, so this is new normal. Okay, I'm the type of speaker. Normally, I move around all the hall or the training room, but I cannot move anywhere. But at the same time, also I don't know what we're doing. But anyway, I'm very positive. So I hope we feel free to interrupt me along the session. Towards the end, maybe too long to wait. And for your information, this slide that we're going to share with you will be given to you, but you have to request from the organizer, or later you can email direct to me. I can email to you the PDF copy of this slide. Don't worry about the slide, okay? Okay, just introducing about me. Okay, I got about 22 years of experience in this field. I didn't never change my field, but I just changed my cat. I work in the private sector, practicing energy management, energy audit, all that, and then I became regulator in Energy Commission about 6 years, and then I joined the ministry about 1 year. I was in SEDA about almost a year, and finally I rejoined the private sector again in 2012, and now since the last almost 2 years, I became a fully freelance energy management consultant. Okay, so the new norm for some of you working from home, and I've been doing it for the past almost 2 years. Okay, so anyway, that's my journey. If you look at my qualification here, I'm no longer an engineer, even though I'm a mechanical engineer by qualification, but my job now is not really technical. I'm more on the strategic part of energy management, which is more on the planning part and all that. It's no longer technical, even though technically I'm quite, I know I'm quite good lah. Don't bluff me. Okay. Anyway, okay, this is what actually what I will share today. Okay. First of all, we look into how the sustainability green or energy at the global level and also in Malaysia, what Malaysia has been doing. And then we look into what are the standards, some guidelines, standards that being referred, in Malaysia about energy management, green and all that, okay? And then we go to how our IoT change energy management. It's quite a lot actually, and how and why you should adopt IoT in your energy management. Okay, and then how, and then this is more specific part, the number 4, how we look, how we apply IoT, okay, in energy management to make it more effective. That's actually the most important part I would like to share today. And then we look into some area you can save energy in the building sector and how IoT can make it easier. Okay, that's all about my presentation today. Okay, first of all, look at this. Okay, this document is launched by United Nations in 2015. Okay, for some of you may be familiar with this, some of you are not. It's okay, but they call it Sustainable Development Goal. They got 17 goals in this document. Okay, but in this document, we don't talk about all today. We just focus on number 12. Number 12 is basically, goal number 12 is about responsible consumption and production. So that's why the word consumption there. Because in this particular topic, we talk about how we use energy, how we consume energy in the building or in any facility. Okay? And what is it in goal number 12? Okay, in goal number 12, there are many targets. Okay, there are a lot of targets there, but we talk for today's purpose, we just look into 3 key points, the key target that we look into. The first one, okay, we look here, what the first target we talk about, by 2030, the world is supposed to achieve sustainable management and efficient use of its natural resources. Okay, look, the key word here is efficient use of natural resources. So bear in mind, natural resources includes energy and energy. Okay, in Malaysia, 60% of our GHG emission comes from energy sector in Malaysia. Okay, and the second goals in this goal number 12 is, okay, they will encourage especially the large companies to adopt sustainable practices. Okay, sustainable practices for energy, we refer to sustainable energy management. Okay, at the same time, okay, the company should integrate sustainability in their reporting. Even in Malaysia now, in many countries now, all the public listed companies, they are mandatory for them to submit sustainability reporting in their annual report. It's become a requirement already. And finally, the last one here, I like to highlight here, okay, the goal in this goal number 12, the target is that to rationalize, they slowly will take out the subsidies. Okay, because subsidies somehow distort the market. Somehow, when it comes to, somehow in Malaysia in particular, to a certain extent, it becomes the obstacle for energy efficiency because of our energy subsidy. Because people thought, we can pay for the bill, we can pay for everything. Is that you don't have to save energy on all that. So this will be the 3 target in goal number 12. Okay, therefore, okay, sustainability has become something in the company way back in the early 90s. Okay, because because it started, companies started to look at sustainability not just some kind of CSR or voluntary things. It become they start to take advantage how that sustainability can be part of their contributing to the business growth. Okay, at the same time they still can protect the environment. Therefore, managers, high level managers started to look into how to bring sustainability into the high level top management, into the boardroom and all that, including energy. Okay, because surveys done by the PricewaterhouseCoopers proven that most CEOs, almost 1,000 CEOs from 43 countries, they believe that sustainability will be very about 80% of them believe that sustainability become is very vital to their profitability the way forward. So it's no longer a technical issue now. Energy management it's become business issue. Okay, business issue. Okay, and then if you look here, this is the first part why I like sharing only because when I have given a topic, I have to do research. From there, I know a lot of things, along the way. So this is look the trend here, the survey done here. Okay, they surveyed about CFOs, and Chief Financial Officer in 250 countries, in 14 countries. 2/3 of them believe that energy sustainability is something that they have to push. They will drive the business. Okay, and about almost 800 CEOs worldwide, 91% of them believe that sustainability is an issue, is critical to the business. Okay, and then the survey on the executives, you know, and university made the researchers made the research, you know, the way forward basically people all at all levels, top management, financial people, you know, young executives, you know, consumers, okay, they don't even mind to pay more for sustainability or green. Okay, so this is the trend. Even building owners nowadays, they started to look at, you know, energy management as part of their way of making the adding value to their building. Okay, these are the things. So, and then based on this trend, you know, we come to this question. Okay, so is sustainable energy management system now is become option or must do? Okay, to some company now, to some it's become something a must do, because I know a lot of some of my clients, you know, it's become market requirement. You know, if they want to enter certain market, they must be certified with, for example, ISO 2001 for energy management system. This become a requirement of the business. Okay, so for us, you know, ask ourselves, you know, and for Malaysia, how Malaysia look into this? Okay, therefore, in 2015, when the document was launched, you know, the strategy goals document launched, and we are committed. Malaysia are committed, and at the same time, you know, I think in 2018, you know, we review our commitment. You know, we put this target by 2030. We committed ourselves to reduce 45% of our GHG emission intensity based on 2005 baseline value. Okay, the question now, this is the country commitment. The question now, how you can contribute. Okay, this is the question. How we as a user, as business owner, you know, and other you are building sector or industrial sector, how can you contribute? Okay, the best way to contribute is by energy efficiency. Okay, or even renewable energy, because the moment you practice sustainable energy management, the moment you buy efficient technology, you are contributing to this. You are contributing to this. Okay, this is how. That's why today's topic, we talk about how we manage our building in terms of energy in sustainable manner. Okay, and same time, bear in mind, okay, the government is drafting the new law now. They call it National Energy Efficiency and okay, sorry. They got first they have the action plan. Government has launched the action plan to help to achieve this target. They got the so-called National Energy Efficiency Action Plan. It was launched 2016. The targeted period is until 2025. Okay, they're targeting to reduce, you know, to contribute to the 45% reduction of CO2 emission intensity, or by about 8% of energy consumption by the country. Okay, they're targeting the commercial and industrial sector as the main target groups. Okay, all right. This is the total energy being targeted to be saved. Okay, it's about 105 gigawatt hour. Okay, therefore they've got some programs even to support that. Okay, and at the same time, this is for your information. Government is now drafting the new ACTA, the new act. Okay, they call it Energy Efficiency Conservation Act. In this act, okay, there'll be a requirement. Now we have some law regulations on some building they require to have energy manager, but the requirement is very minimal. But with the new law, you should expect, there'll be more requirement later for large users, especially commercial users or industrial users, okay, to make sure they are managing the energy efficiently. There'll be more requirement to be imposed. So bear in mind, okay, it's coming. But right, this law is supposed to be this year, because of political change, brought forward next year to be tabled to the parliament. Our story is almost ready now, just need to bring to the parliament. Bear in mind. Okay. So any questions so far? Anyone like to ask any question? Anyone? We have 30 participants here today.
Yeah, we have 31 participants today.
31. Okay.
Yeah, 31.
So anyone? Any questions so far?
I think so far tak ada lagi kot.
No, panas yet, eh? Alright, okay.
The afternoon punya syndrome.
Lunch, heavy lunch, understood. It's a challenge for me as well. That's why I'm very stressful here, because I cannot move around to do anything. Okay. Okay, but to do it in a holistic way, right? To at the company level, for example, there are many ways, right? Therefore, I different location. For example, maybe. Sorry. Any question? Ada soalan ke? Tak ada? Okay. I continue then. Okay.
Boleh Cik Zani.
Macam ada orang nak tanya tadi dengar je suara.
Ah.
Okay, so how to do it? Okay, therefore I managed to source this from Bain and Company consultant. Okay, how to get the how to do it? Okay, they got there are many way, but here in this slide here, I would like to highlight only 2 items. Okay, one, okay, in the form of how you do it, how you manage the people, how you at the organization level, how you manage the people. Okay, so the recommendation here from this study by Bain and Company is actually quite a reputable consultant, management consultant. Okay, through the enabled through management system. With that, they got somebody dedicated to drive the implementation. Okay, then we come to the systematic approach to make sure people, okay, at the all organizations, moving forward. Okay, and then another one, number 5 here. So how you upgrade your building infrastructure to make sure it suit the support in the management. Okay, you can apply order automation and all that. This is where somehow IoT will take place. You can optimize IoT and all that. Okay, because you know why? Because if you look at number 5, number 8, even you have a efficient building, you have a efficiently or green design building, but I can guarantee you the building cannot stay green or efficient by itself. Okay, it needs to be maintained. It needs to be managed properly, by the people. Okay, to make sure it can sustain its performance. Okay, this is the 2 are related. Okay, they just focus on this because it requires holistic, and inclusive approach, to sustain the result. If not, you may achieve if you let's say you have a new building. You may achieve whatever you want to achieve the first few years. If no system in place, and the people, the culture of efficient culture doesn't, inculcate among the employees, subsequently, the building cannot sustain its performance. I can guarantee you that because I saw it many places. Okay, because require holistic and inclusive approach. To make it inclusive, the only way is to have a system in place. Okay, and how you mobilize organizations, so you must use the corporate strategy and the management. If you look here, okay, just give some example. Yeah, okay, you must have, for example, you have a clear target, must be clearly stated. Okay, you must the whole employee know what the company is targeting for in terms of energy, and then the commitment from the top. Okay, reporting part, because for example in Malaysia now. Even some CEO or MD, they don't even know who is the energy manager in the company. It's no link to that. And then another one, you must make sure that there are resources available. If you have all equipment, okay, you want to change it, make sure that you are moving toward the more efficient type. Okay, you must set that resources. And then next one, here, you must measure and monitor your system. You must monitor your performance. Okay? And to do that, constantly, you must have a system in place. This is where, again, measurement and monitoring, this is where you can apply IoT, which will make monitoring and measurement faster, real time, and will lead into quicker decision to be made. Otherwise, it become a every quarterly affair, Yearly, if you are certified ISO, become a yearly affair. Or it become something, being brought up to the top management only if there's any issue. Okay, and all that. Okay, it require management commitment. Okay, and then how to mobilize further the organization. And then this is about the culture. Okay, the culture. How you can create the culture, because it involves behavior. Okay, of course, first one, who make the decision? How you apply all that? Okay, make effective allocation of the decision, right? Who can make decision to make sure that the decision can be made and can result to the saving. And then second one, accountability. Okay, who's in charge? Is there any team? Is there any leader? Is there any engineering manager being appointed with dedicated roles? And then you must involve the employees, because employees are also energy users. Okay, that's why in typical engineering system, everyone has their role. Everyone has the role, but they will play different role, and this role must be clearly defined and communicated to all employees. For example, normal employees, maybe they don't maintain the aircon system, but they are the user, they are the one often complaining. You know, they must know, you know, you cannot simply bring down the temperature because it consumes energy. If you know, if it's not necessary. Okay, and then you must build the expertise within the organization so that you can help. Okay, this one can be done through training. Okay, this is basically the how you can achieve that, because by doing that, they will lead into the cultural changes. Cultural changes. Okay, and because you know what, because in a building we often come to this. Normally we don't involve in the design stage. We just involve in the as a user or as somebody that operate and maintain the facility. So this is the time we have to use energy and we have to pay the bill. Unfortunately, you know, energy affect most of the life cycle of the asset because you still need energy all the time. And unfortunately, energy prices are not fixed. Okay, it depends on the tariff and all that. It depends on the fuel price, all that. Because, for example, in Malaysia, 40% of our generation for electricity, 40% of our electricity generation coming from coal. 40% more come from gas. Okay, and coal and gas price not going down compared to oil now. Okay, and these prices are getting higher. And coal is not ours. Coal is not ours. We imported all our coal for our power generation. So they will affect, you know, therefore, we have to manage during this longest period of the asset. Okay, because that's why, therefore, we need to have a system. Because we don't have a system in place, we don't monitor, we don't have targets, you know, we don't have accountability. Therefore, if we are not efficient, we don't know, and then we just let it go. For example, if you ask any of you, how's your building comparatively? Is it efficient or not? Anyone can answer? KYM building, of course, they are rated with the GBI. Okay. How about your building? Is it efficient or not? Anyone can answer? Anyone? Anyone rated platinum or gold GBI or LEED? No? Or too shy to share? It's okay, okay? Because if you have no system normally, you know, you're not efficient, but you don't know, and then you let it go. And when that happens, you don't improve because you lost the opportunity because you don't know where to improve. Of course, you don't act. And finally, you pay for something that you don't have to pay. Because you have the budget to pay the bill, you know, every year, you just pay. But my question now, is that amount that you're supposed to pay? You know, there are methods to know that. Okay? In the individual, there are methods to know whether the amount that you pay is amount that you're supposed to pay or not. Of course, finally, if you keep, you know, wasting energy, not efficient, Malaysia has to look for more energy sources. Okay, that's why for companies that are effective in the management, they have the common characteristics normally. Okay, firstly, they have board in terms of awareness. The awareness level is throughout the company, not just among the technical personnel, from the top until the support staff. The awareness is there. That's one. Secondly, they have a long-term plan, short and long term. They know what's the plan in terms of energy, the way forward. They have put up the plan. Okay. Number three, this is where IoT will help because they collect data and they analyze and manage. Because what happens normally, in normal practice, you collect data, but you never analyze. For example, you receive your bill every month. What do? You just enter and you pay the bill. The most you do, most of the cases, you know, they just put up the chart, you know, the bar chart, RM per month, you know, that you can see the plan every once a year. You don't analyze it. And you don't use it to manage your energy. I can tell you there are plenty of information only from your monthly bill. Later, I show you some examples. Okay, and then number four, energy, they integrate the task of managing into the overall structure, not just, you know, being handed over to totally from the technical personnel. All right, they make the energy management activity as a part of the business activity. Okay, and finally, they got the leader, they got the champion. they got a team that lead the way. Okay, from top to bottom. Okay, this is the common characteristic of company that often effective in their energy management. Okay. All right. So example, I should mention here some example. Diversity, they got corporate goals. They have the corporate approach. 3M, they got energy policy. And then Johnson Control, of course, they're good in all this monitoring. They measure, track, and report their performance and the energy program. And then Marriott, okay, they involve the employee and the top leadership, okay. And then from the Starbucks, they establish the baseline, they monitor, they look into all that. So this example of good best practices, globally. Okay. So any question before I move on? Any question? Anyone? No? Anyone?
No.
I think
Not yet.
everyone is shy.
So focused. I hope you're so focused then. Okay.
We are here. We are here.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then I think just I'll brush with you. Some are the standard and management available for the country. That we are not always referring. Okay. You know what? Because first look into the definition. What energy management? Okay. What energy management? Okay. Energy management is not a technical activity. It's any activity to ensure efficient use of energy. Means that everyone are involved. All are involved. Okay. Means that all activity. Even though you are human resource department, even though you are corporate from department, you are also a user. So any activity, because at the end of the day, in a company, you are also using energy. None of you can claim I'm not using energy. Therefore, all activity that use energy will contribute to that. But the only thing is that each of us have different roles to play. For example, the technical personnel, they're more on the system. Okay. Management, they're more on the policy. Okay. And then in terms of user, okay, normal user, they're more on the make sure they don't waste energy. For example, they leave the room, switch it off, the lamp. They leave the room, if they have split unit aircon, switch it off. All that, example, okay? And then they must do energy management continuously. That's why it has to be sustainably. That's why we need to have the sustainable energy management system, because whenever a system, you make sure energy being used efficiently, adopting a system, and at the same time, you achieve your result. Because if you have a system, but at the same time, you don't achieve the result, your system fails. Because system will involve the people and equipment. So normally the one that giving trouble is the people. Equipment often not giving trouble because as long as you switch it on, you maintain it well, they will operate accordingly. But people is the one that often lead to the wastage. All that. Okay, therefore we need to do it in the same way, in a common way. Therefore you need a standard. Okay, the standard. Because standard we offer the systematic approach, for the energy management. Okay, this is some standard you can refer for information. Only for energy management. Okay, if you look here, number 1 until 5 are all management standard. Okay, all management standard. Only number 6 is the technical standard. Okay, because this MS-125 is national standard for EE and renewable energy for non-residential building. Okay, and then the number 1 is energy management system for ISO 2001. Okay, the rest, number 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 is guidelines to support this standard. Okay, and then what are the standards or rating? In Malaysia, there are plenty. This really sometimes puzzle me. Which one to follow then? Okay, such a small country, we got, how many here? For example, green building tools in Malaysia alone, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that we refer. Okay, so up to you. You pick which one suit you the most. For government building, they must follow this MICRES or penerapan hijau. Okay, and the rest you can pick which one, the one that suit the most. Then when it comes to green building tools, okay, and then for the standard we have MS-125, ISO 2001, we have 40,000. Okay, we also have the ASEAN Energy Management Scheme or AEMAS'S, where they have the energy management gold standard rating. Okay, this is what actually available in Malaysia. And then this is some example of AEMAS'S. Okay, UTM, for example, they adopted AEMAS'S. But for your information, AEMAS'S is almost similar to ISO because the fundamental of AEMAS'S similar to ISO. The only difference is that you can get the rating, either 1 star, 2 star, or 3 star. You have to commit certain saving per year, and then you can get the rating. ISO, you don't have the commitment when it comes to rating. Okay, it's self-declared and you have to achieve it. Okay, example here, AEMAS. And ISO, this is ISO example. So that's why if you adopt a proper system, just adopting the system and even the system, either AEMAS or ISO, I can guarantee you, okay, based on many studies and my personal experience as well, we can easily save from 5 to 10% only from the systematic approach with no major investment yet. This example shows that 10%, 7%, and even up to 11%. It's been proven. Okay. And then if you look here, and when we come to adoption of standard globally, the adoption of ISO is very fast. You know, it was launched in 2011. You know, from about 500 companies, almost 12,000 companies only within 4 years. And more companies, you know, they see that even in the Europe, they did a study, the total saving annually about 26%. Okay, in the US, they save about $1.2 million per year from adoption of the system alone. Okay. Okay. And this is example. Okay, some government building that has adopted the green rating. Okay, you can look, you can go and visit this building. I mean, I stayed in 2 of them before, the Kementerian Tenaga and also the Suruhanjaya Tenaga. Okay, but I often go to Malaysia Green Tech for the meeting and all that. Okay, and now we come to this. Okay, how IoT change energy management. Okay, how it is. So because based on this data, okay, you know, the IoT take up is very fast. You know, based on this report by Gartner, okay, you know, it's about 20.8 billion by 2020. You know, when it comes to connecting. Okay, and then it's about you know, more. Okay, look here in China alone, you know, the smart grid spending alone is about $20 billion by 2015. Date 1 2015. Okay, this is how fast, you know, how IoT can be applied not only for the user. It comes from the all sector, energy. Okay, you look here. If you look here, okay, IoT in the energy sector. If you look here, if you look, it can be applied to all part of the energy sector, from the regulatory, okay, from the utility company itself, right, for the generation, and then from the transmission and distribution, and then for the demand side. This is what involves users. Okay, for users like building sector, okay, you're looking here. You know, how we utilize IoT in this, in energy efficiency, in comes to the equipment, how we adopt into our smart building, and how we can respond to the demand, how we can make our demand respond. Okay, how we respond to get the optimized, you know, tariff, you know, rate. Okay, this is where we can. Okay, one way to do it by having the sustainable energy management practices or system. Okay, this is where for our focus here is in this user side, at the demand side here. Demand side here. Okay, this is how IoT apply in this sector. And basically in here, okay, at the demand side, okay, there are many parts, you know, but I'll just focus here in smart building. Yeah? Okay, how you can apply IoT in smart building here. Okay, if you look at the bottom here, okay, basically it will help to centralize and remote control of all the appliances to make it efficient, so that you can, what you can do, you can improve your control of your system, your aircon, your lighting, all that, instead of manually intervene. Okay, in all that. So this is very, very important. And then this just to share information. So what component involved in IoT? They got this component. Okay, to have at the one platform, you need to have this. First, where you want to apply that. In building, normally you want to use IoT for what? How to control your aircon system or lighting system. Okay, and you need to have the device. How to control it? Through a sensor or actuator. Okay, and then to do that, okay, to transmit this information here, you need to have the protocol. There are many types, you know, I just name few here. Don't ask me what is that. Okay, okay. And then once you collect the data, okay, through this protocol, and you need to store the data somewhere. Okay, and the most important part, number 5, ialah the data need to be analyzed. This is what IoT will make the difference. So this is where the programming will start. So there are programs that you can analyze the data automatically and come up with a, some indicator. Okay, that it can be used to make decisions. Okay, this is the important part. And this requires human intervention. I think the others, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, purely technology. It's all about collecting data, transfer that, and then store, and then this is the most important part. This is where the human intervenes. Okay, number 5, where human need to take the data and process according to what they need for the purpose of energy management. This is the basics, setup of IoT platform. Okay. And again, next question: why adopt IoT? Okay. Okay. The simple answer is simple. We make things easier. Okay, to make things easier because let's say you are not even your smart. Your building is smart. Okay. Okay, you can make it smarter by having IoT because for example, so normal smart building often has this BMS, right? Okay, but for BMS, they're mainly designed to gather data, just collect data, and then for basic control. Okay, for basic control. Okay, so basically monitor and control. They gather data and for monitor and then basic control, on, off, all that, on and off. Okay, timing, scheduling and all that. But for IoT, the difference is that IoT will got a sensor, they collect similar to BMS, but they analyze. Okay, they analyze through a proper programming, through the proper application, they will convert the data into useful information. For example, if before that, okay, later I show the example. If before that you collect data only to know the temperature, okay, or flow rate. IoT, okay, get the real-time data, they process it, they convert all that into something useful. For example, kilowatt per ton. Okay, for ecosystem. Therefore, you can customize it, okay, to make some kind of data that is useful to make business decision. Instantly, almost instant. If not, if you don't have that IoT real time, for example, if you want to know your aircon performance, you have to conduct energy audit. Energy audit at least take you data collection at least 2 weeks. Okay, and you must sometimes you have to engage third party, pay some more. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, because being proven, okay, buildings with IoT application, this building has seen lower maintenance cost by having all that. Okay, so that's why they will empower your even energy efficient smart building, make it better. Right? Even now your building is smart now, they make it smarter, get better result. Example here, okay, this is example here, BMS. So this is BMS. For example, you just collect data, you monitor. Somebody has to monitor. Okay, but IoT, okay, what you can do, real-time data, they can analyze, and then you can make instant response. Because I know it, because this is one of our projects, we can program in such a way that the ecosystem can operate according to real cooling load requirement that particular time. Simple as that. Okay, so they can analyze and make the instant response for the energy consumption optimization. Because here, example here, you can see here, it's like you can see the real-time kilowatt per ton. Okay, you can program the whole system, okay, to maintain your kilowatt per ton at a certain value that still optimized. Same time, it doesn't compromise your comfort level. And this can be done real-time, and you can do it from anywhere. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, so where to refer? So this is the system. Okay, so where we can refer to all that, all the values, right? What value you can refer as your reference, or when you do all the settings, you refer to the standard. For Malaysia, for example, we have standard. Okay, we have standard. We got MS-155 for the example here. For a lot of data here, so you can use this information to start your system, to design a system. Okay, we have the MS-155 for ecosystem here. I won't go one by one, but there are my point here. You can see all the data, and this data can be utilized again for your programming, for your IoT system when you apply IoT in your building management. The example for ecosystem here. Okay, ecosystem. You can refer this one from IMAS 1.25, all that. Okay, I won't go one by one because my point here, you see a lot of data there. Okay, all that reference point, reference point. Okay, and secondly, if you have a system in place now, you enhance. Let's say you have an AEMAS system. Okay, you can enhance it because they will include sensors. You can control, manage your asset, and then they have smart meter. Okay, you can monitor real-time data, process it, and then give you tailor-made response. Okay, even to the utility. Okay, I show example later how you can utilize the current punya tariff structure because we got the AT, all that. Okay, and then because smart meter, you can take data to the level detail that you wanted. Okay, and then all that sensor enabled asset, all you can use it, to report, you can predict. You can do some even predictive maintenance as well. Okay, and then lastly, you can adopt easily to adopt green energy. You can, if you have a solar PV, you can quickly interface with the other net metering and all that. Okay, the second is enhance the effectiveness of your AEMAS system. And this example, one of my projects last time. Okay, here all the only thing is that it's not IoT lah. Okay, because this one only from the localized system. Okay, but all connected. Okay. Okay, if you look all here from this one center here, computer here. Okay, from there we manage their incoming power, optimize it. Even we control the billing. Okay, we control the lighting. Okay, and then we control it. We control the aircon system, and finally we even control the maximum demand. Maximum demand. Okay, and if you can link this one to online, you can look all that real time. Okay, this one we just apply IT application, automation. Okay, real monitoring at site, remote monitoring at the site. Okay, but if you link it to the bridge to the next level, IoT can make it easier because in this case, I have to go to that site to look into your computer here. But if IoT, okay, you can link it anywhere, even from your smartphone. Okay, and finally, as the result of that, okay, you can reduce your bill because it gives you the holistic view of all aspects of your consumption. You know where your energy being used, which one the largest user, what's the trend, all that real time. Okay, so then you can play around with that. For example, here in Malaysia, now we got the ETOU, enhanced tariff of use. Instead of just 2 peak of peak tariff of the maximum demand charge for the peak of peak tariff, now we got the 3 bands. Okay, so this is where you can utilize, but you cannot do that without a proper monitoring of your trend. Because data from IoT, you can look at real time and to detail that you wanted. Okay, and then from there you can plan. Okay, because for example, for BMS, you only focus on the major equipment. But IoT, you can design in such a way that to all levels. So when they have data in hand, easily to make some decisions faster. And you can plan for the response, real time, you know when you're supposed to stop certain machine and all that because you monitor your data all the time and from anywhere. You don't have to be the factory anyway to monitor your trend, for example. Okay, and then this example here, how do you use IoT? How do you see how they measure the saving? Okay, and this can be seen from your phone. You can always know what's your saving before and after at any time, anywhere. Okay, otherwise then you have to go to the site and then have to download and all that. Okay, and another one, real-time data. The beauty of real-time data, you can react quickly and take advantage from any money saving opportunity. For example, maximum demand control, or the tariff, different tariff at different rates of tariff at different peak and off-peak period and all that. At the same time, you also can reveal potential problems. You can see the trend, you can monitor. Oh, if you understand the trend, you should know what's your upcoming trend. If it's something, deviate from that, you can take action quickly. Okay, you know how much you use energy during the peak times. Okay, and all these only possible through real-time monitoring. Okay, otherwise you have to be at the site. Be at site only you can access everything. Okay, simple as that. All right, any questions so far? Few more minutes, about 10 more minutes, 20 minutes.
Cik Zaini.
Yes.
I have a question regarding with the maximum demand.
Yes.
Okay, for example, if we have a lot of building, for example, we have a 6 building and we have a lot of equipment, how
Mm-hmm.
we want to monitor the maximum demand? We need to, for example, now we have already have a SCADA, which is we have a real-time monitoring, but
Okay.
not all the building and
Okay.
and not all the equipment. So,
Okay.
so the solution maybe we need to put all to link all the equipment to the SCADA.
No need yet. Okay. My question. Okay. Thank you for asking. Daripada mana ni? Daripada mana?
To help me.
Daripada mana?
Sitaran Melaka.
Okay. CTRM ya. Kalau you ada banyak building tapi you ada how many tariff? Satu tariff ke banyak different tariff, different bill?
No, single bill.
Kalau single bill, okay. First you need to know when your MD happen. Okay.
Okay.
To do that, you don't have to pay anything. You write to TMB, local TMB, asking for your demand profile for the last 3 years. You get it for free.
Okay.
Okay. From there, you will know when your MD happen. Okay. Okay. So then from there, once you know when your MD happen, later I think after that, there's one slide I share with you. What's the step to do that? Okay. Is it okay? Can you wait for a while?
Okay. Okay.
You're lucky because I got something in my slide there clear explaining that much more detail actually. Okay, but first my first answer, you write to TMB, ask for your demand profile for the last 3 years. They give you the Excel sheet, also the graph free, but you must write. Otherwise, you have to measure yourself. Cost you some money if you want to get the party measurement. Okay, okay. Can you wait? Next one, okay? Can you wait?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you for asking. I hope they get the first question, get somebody from factory, write a letter first. Okay. And then, okay, holistic approach, because in management, you have technology, you must have management. Technology here will bring you the saving, yes. But you cannot guarantee you sustain the performance saving. Therefore, you need to have management. Management, through a systematic approach, you will be able to achieve saving and you sustain the saving and you can improve further. For us, we often look into technology solution. Very good, nothing wrong with that. But not without management, subsequently, you will fail to sustain your performance. You may go back to the square one lah. Okay? Because in a building, okay, you design it become efficient, right? Okay? But you must sustain it to make it efficient. No way, no second way. So you must find the gap. Okay, that's why you must have somehow method to see always what's the gap. What's the current performance compared to the design one. It's not one off. It must be monitored continuously, and this one can be done through IoT, okay, or BMS, okay. And then when you commission your system, does that cover energy performance or not, or just the functionality? And then when you put up your meter and monitoring system, does it suit for energy management purpose or not? For example, if you have thought about energy management purpose, you should have some kind of metering that allow you to separate your significant energy use accordingly. If not, you have trouble later to quantify that. And then when you refurbish, how you manage it, how you manage your refurbish in terms of energy performance, and then how you utilize your control system, how you utilize your natural ventilation, okay. And then after that, you look into the potential RE sources. On top of that, to sustain that, you must have a system in place. The management system. Because this is the design part, technical part, that gives you the savings or make it very efficient. But this management part is the one that will sustain your savings, to sustain the building performance. Okay? And you look here, okay, this is the typical framework of energy management system, which we cover nothing new here. This is typical PDCA cycle, the cover typical management system. The only thing is that for energy, only the planning part will be different. Because here, look here, the top part involves management. The bottom part involves day-to-day operations. All this element here. I want to go one by one, but I don't want to highlight the one that with the red color. The red color, in the whole process cycle here, the red color is the one that require, this is where IoT will make the difference. Because, for example, in the energy review and the planning, to establish your significant energy use, indicator and baseline, in data collection, IoT will make it faster. and easier. And then later, when you implement the system, you want to monitor the performance. You might evaluate the performance. You must do measurement. This is where IoT will make it faster and easier. Okay, in the system. Because for me, IoT is very good management tools, you know, in management system. Okay, one of the good tools lah, because it gives the quicker information. All right. And let's say if you have a system where you want to have a centralized system to manage your energy. For example, yeah, normally when in my experience, yeah, when I develop a system, we put it in centralized information like this. Okay, we have a system. We have all information is here, and a lot of information here require a lot of data. Okay, and that data will be faster being collected using IoT lah, real-time data. Okay, faster and easier can be processed. Okay, this is the system that we put all information in one place. Okay, and this will make the system visible. But this system, you know, only works if we have data that we can rely on, reliable data. You know, by having real-time data, all that, you know, will be make it, you know, the system become, you know, much more effective. Okay, and key requirement, you know, data. And IoT, of course, will make it easier. Okay, and then another one in the planning. If you want to develop the system, right? You want to develop the system like this. So if you look at the planning part here, the planning, energy planning part. Okay, in the planning part, okay, here. Okay, you need to have energy data on energy. After that, you have to conduct energy review. This is the part that you need a lot of data. Because in the planning, what you do in the planning, you will come up with the outputs here. You need to understand your trend. You need to know where you can save energy. You need to establish your significant energy use. You need to establish your indicator, baseline, and set your targets. And that only after you conduct the planning. And this planning, we have a component here called energy review. What is that? Okay. This is what energy review. Okay. You need to analyze. Sorry? Anyone? I hear somebody screaming or accidentally. Okay. You have to analyze your consumption. Okay. And you identify your SU. And then you need to confirm where you can improve. Along the way, you may have to conduct energy audit. And all this require a lot of data, information. Okay, information. And of course, you know, IoT will make it easier. Okay. And then you want to set the plan. Okay. Okay, you set the target. Okay, and then you want to implement your measure. After that, you want to evaluate your performance. Of course, when you have all data in place, real time, at customized according to your needs, of course, you know, you make it easier. Okay, it's an example of target. Okay, in the system, and this is how you set the target. Okay, cover the technical part, the red color, and the supporting part, the human part. Okay, and all this must be in numerical. You must have numbers on that. Okay, and in energy management system, there are a lot of data collection. If you look here, this is based on the ISO 2015. Okay, a lot of data collections, measurement, you know, and all this, you know, will be very, very troublesome without any effective system. Of course, this one, IoT will help. Okay, you make it faster. Okay, why you need to analyze consumption? Because you need to know, you need to understand your trend. Okay, you must establish your baseline period for you to check your target, and then you must confirm the factor that affect your consumption, and then you must establish your energy baseline and your energy performance indicators. Okay, that's why you need to analyze your consumption. Okay, example here. Okay, this is why just now somebody asked, kan? This is example how much you can use data from your bill. Okay, for example here, if you understand your trend, you should know what all this reduction or increase, you know, what caused all that. Okay, and IoT will help. Okay, let's say this just overall consumption, right? If you look at consumption here, so IoT will help you to customize. If you want to look into more detail, you come up with this. Okay, for particular, for example, this one for you, let's look into your ASU. How much consumption? This one overall consumption. This one, how much your ASU consume every month. And then you can go deeper. Here, this is the kilowatt hour consumption. This one is your kilowatt profile. Okay, all right. And then, so real time data, because this data here, first one, monthly consumption from the bill. Means that past data, cannot do anything, have to pay the bill. But this real time data here, if you can monitor every time, you can help you to understand and have more insight, and you can take action faster. Okay, that's why the difference. Okay, example here, if you have a bill, if you look at this data, for example, actually the same data here, this one monthly consumption. Just this one, this is the analytical part. Okay, just because of the look at this, you can see the reduction trend, but not obvious. Okay, and I know this particular plant, they did some project to save energy. Okay, but they can't see here. They can't even quantify how much they save here. But just from the different kind of analysis for the same data, I produce this chart. Okay, you see the difference. If you want to go to your management, show your performance. Okay, which one it will show the chart to show your improvement? This chart or this chart? This chart. For the same source of data. Just this one, just basically the annualized consumption trend. They show different performance here. You can even quantify your saving here. Okay, this is just from the analysis from your bill. Okay, all that. And then you have to establish yours if you can use of energy in your facilities. Again, if you have online system, you can make this consumption, data much more accurate. Because you've got the real-time measurement to estimate where you use energy the most. Okay, this is where we give you the idea where you want to focus for your energy management activities, where you should focus on the investment. Okay, and then if you want to conduct, for example, if you want to know how much you can improve, you normally have to conduct energy audit, right? But bear in mind here, you can do it either from your own assessment, ataupun you can use for system assessment, ataupun work through audit. But if you want to conduct energy audit, for example, because the biggest portion of cost, energy audit normally it's not cheap, expensive. And the biggest portion of energy audit, basically the data collection or measurement or data logging. Okay, and for example, how many equipment you have to use, for energy audit. So if you have an online system data, okay, collection, you can bypass all this. You can bypass all this. You don't have to use all this. Maybe you can use a few, but not all. But most of them here, for example, equipment here, all energy data collection, data logging, your flow rate, your kilowatt hour profile and all that. If you have the system in place, this one you can be avoided. So make your audit cost cheaper. Okay, and this is just your example. How much data required when if you conduct energy audit based on ISO 2002? You see how much data to be collected. So just imagine how much your IoT will help you to do your audit if you have that in place. Okay, another one here. Okay, all the required measurement plan for the energy audit based on ISO 2002. A lot of things. Okay, example here. This example, I show some example. Example, we how what kind of data you have to monitor for energy audit. You see, all this data is real-time data. This is the profile. Okay, when what's your trend on the particular day, particular week. Okay, and then this is here. Even you can monitor your chiller temperature, chiller return and supply. You can see quickly. You can see the delta T. Okay, IoT can process, what the most optimum delta T punya values. Okay, and then this is your profile, you punya loading. Okay, in terms of kilowatt, your loading. You can see real time. This one from energy audit is costly. Just imagine you have the real time data, even faster. Okay, you see, even you can measure chiller performance efficiency. This one manually, they have to do the audit. They come up with this data from data logging. Okay, so that they can calculate the chiller kilowatt per ton. Okay, from there they can do some assessment. They can compare their recommendations. Okay, and this is from there here where you can refer here. Okay, you can refer once you have got the value, you can refer to the standard to know your chiller is good or not. Okay, all this will be easier if you have the real-time data. Okay, this is another one. You can monitor your chiller kilowatt per ton. This is how. This one manually being done. Okay, you have to measure the old chiller, and from there you can know what the chiller performance. And this activity I can tell you easily between 15 to 20K just to know your chiller performance for the audit. It's not cheap. Okay. So now I want to just to share towards the end. Okay, where you can apply IoT in the saving measure in the building sector lah. Okay, if you have an aircon system, this is something that you will do. Okay, you have to control the system. So IoT will make it easier for you to control all the key operating parameters. Okay, or no longer manual, no longer by your own technicians. Okay, and then for aircon system in the maintenance, okay, you can monitor the humidity values. You know, you can monitor the temperature values. From there, you can see whether it's more heat or less heat or that. You know, you can see the heat level at your facility so that you can control it accordingly. A lighting system, of course, easier to control. Okay, so you can easily control, you know, to meet your current user requirement, also for the control the operating time. This is the references, you know, you can refer for a lighting level. Of course, you know, sensors you can integrate with IoT as well. For that, you can respond to the demand requirement almost instantly. Okay, this is to address your question just now. MD control Okay. Tadi yang pada CTRM tadi. Okay. First step you kena identify when your MD happen. Therefore kalau ada IoT senang. Okay. First you kena tahu kat mana you punya MD. Where's your MD happen? When? In that particular month. When? Okay. So that so from there, that particular period tu, next one, okay, you identify which are the load, what are the load involved in that. And then you have to quantify which load are interruptibles, which load are not interruptible. Okay, and then you select which load that you can control, which load you cannot control. Okay, of course IoT make it easier because normally this control is not recommended to do it manually. You must do it automation. I've done it before, but not easy, because I used to, you know, I've got one experience. I switched off about 3 issue at about 3 and no one will realize it because of just 15 minutes. But they can save thousands when it comes to maximum demand charge. Okay, and then once you confirm your control, how you can control the load, the one that you can interrupt, and then you can implement that. Of course, IoT make it easier. Okay, okay, because maximum demand control is not easy because you have to know exactly when it happened, what exactly you can control, and how to control that. And how you can set the threshold value, what value you want to set as your indicator for your system start to trip or cut in or cut out to switch off. Not, but that's the step. For example, because IoT, what IoT will help you? IoT will help you to do you can predict your demand. You can program to predict your upcoming demand so that you can set the threshold value. And show that visually, they can show some graphical display. Okay, and then you can set the alarm. Visual audible alarm, and then you can do the automatic load shading. Okay, they can load the load shading, when to what load to shed, you know, to the off peak and all that. They can do it automatically, and finally they can record. They record everything. And that's why IoT will help you. That's why real-time data will make it more feasible and easier. Because MD control is not easy. I can guarantee you that. That's why normally MD control, you have a program, all the saving measure, they're always the last one. Another one, the most challenging part is MD control is to quantify that how much you just enjoy the saving from that control itself. It's very challenging. And then you have to set the indicator. Okay, for example, if you have this is the normal way lah. Okay, you need to put a meter to set your, because you want to set your indicator. Okay, just imagine you have to do this manually to collect data from each meter of this. So IoT will help you to, if you have IoT, you link this, you can get all this real time. For all this, okay, okay, faster. When you got data real time, you can make decision faster lah. Okay, and then easier for you to establish the baseline. Because to establish baseline, okay, you have to collect data. Okay, and data must be accurate. So IoT will help you do that. Okay, simple like that. So this morning somebody call me just to share with you. Dia kata Cik Zani ada isu dengan my client, minta my advice. Okay. Dia tak nak, dia kalau masa tu dia agree projek tu baseline dia kilowatt per ton untuk chiller dia. Tapi now suddenly management kata kita bayar TMB kilowatt hour. So kita tak tengok kilowatt per ton. So how? Okay, luckily they got the so-called data, okay, so that they can counter lah the claim. Ni contoh lagi lah. If you want to do even the statistical way to set the baseline, you still need data. So data will help you, you know, IoT will help you to get the data collection. Okay, example lah. And this is output your planning. This is the output your planning. So, in when you do the planning, you see here, number 1, 2, 3, okay, all require data, a lot of data, okay. And then when you implement the system, these are the activities in the system implementation. You have a system implementation, all activity ongoing, and along the way, require data all the time in between. Okay, a lot of data to be collected and to be processed and to be analyzed, and then show the findings. And all this normally, when you have a system in place, you will get the saving. It's a system function lah. Okay, and when it comes to implementation, okay, this is where you can. When it comes to controlling your equipment, it can be procedure based or technology based. So when it comes to, you have the BMS. Okay, IoT, enhance it to adopt IoT, it will make it easier. Okay, the example here, they collect the data manually every single month or every single day. Just imagine they have the, they do it real time without anyone checking every day. So save time, more safe, okay, and also faster. Example, okay, IoT will make it easier. Okay, and then you have to measure performance. Okay, of course, when you measure performance, data. Okay, real-time data is the best data. Okay, to show your actual performance. All right. And this example, my one project last time, but this one not IoT, but just adopt the IT, but we have to go to the site to see the screen because it's not linked to IT. But the example here, you can see all this real-time from each equipment of this, and just imagine you can see this real-time from your phone. Or from your home, don't have to go to the site. Okay, make it easier lah. The thing that the last one here, this is how a good system, okay, we show your performance. For example, this case, this particular factory, they invested 7 million, okay, but they for any saving, but the bill never go down. So how to show the performance? How to show they are improving? So from the data that they have, they establish the baseline, okay, through data, and then they compare themselves. Oh, actually, even though the bill never go down because they keep adding equipment, but they are still very good because they are using energy less than what it's supposed to be. And then they also can see the performance from the analysis here, despite the bill never go down. This is example of where the system is functioning, and of course, having IoT, we make all this data collection much faster and easier. And finally, we come to this. So I mean, system, all the input from the evaluation here, you bring it to the top management, and then they have to check and then keep giving the supports. Okay, and then this is my second last slide. Okay, but there are challenges to adopt IoT in the sector. Okay, for example, in this case, in the user side, it's always difficult, okay, to how much data you want to transmit. Okay, how much in terms of techniques or the computing technique, how are you going to analyze the data? Also, it's challenging because the benefit is still saving, but it's not easy. That's why it's a combination of data that being collected through IoT and the skills, to analyze it. What kind of knowledge and skill to analyze it? By the end of the day, the data from the collection from the IoT will make it faster lah. Otherwise, you have to collect data manually. Okay, a lot of other issues but I highlighted on the consumption of energy lah. And that's it. Okay, the conclusion, okay, if you're a business owner, okay, if you want to look, to save your energy costs, okay, or you want to become greener through energy management, and in the same time you're willing to automate your operations, you make it automated, okay, so there is always a solution for IoT for that. Okay, there's always solution for that. This is the way forward, it's up to you lah. Okay, up to you to look into that and how you can make use of it. I think that's my last slide. Thank you very much for listening. Now I'm opening to any questions, if you don't mind. I'll leave it to the organizer. Do you have time?
Yeah, we have time for questions. Maybe as a start, Cik Zaini, with our experience on MSC punya buildings, kan?
Okay.
Of course, environmental is one of the performance parameter lah.
All right.
Okay, but just want to get your view on office towers or buildings. The take on IoT when it comes to, most buildings ada BMS.
Okay.
Tapi how, in your opinion, how far and how long will we see this as a norm, whereby, you know, you have IoT solutions for building management, and people adopting, building owners, you know, start to automate some of their operations. You know, where are we right now?
Okay, put it this way lah. Malaysia punya culture ni based on my experience lah. Okay, as long as no legal requirement, things are not moving lah. Okay, because currently, okay, the requirement to have all that, you know, energy management requirement, all the large user is not that, so-called prescriptive. Okay, the current legal requirement are not prescriptive. For example, now they just need to have energy manager for large users lah. You know, the one certain users, about 2,000 of them now in the country. But the requirement is not that prescriptive. Therefore, they go for the minimum. Okay, but I think if I think, but bear in mind the new law that the government is drafting now, there'll be more requirement. There'll be more requirement that we need to have. So by having that later, somehow the way I look at it, all right, by having that requirement legally, like it or not, they start to look, you know, if they do it manually, how much will cost them? Okay, if they do it by IoT or that, you know, how much will cost them? They come to the economic punya investigation. I can guarantee you, if the requirement of that new law later, okay, if they do it manually, they'll have to cost them more. They still prefer relying on human. But they start to think from now, and then the new law coming, and then that they easily can customize that to that requirement because they prepare the infrastructure. Okay, that's why sometimes the way I look at it, compared to multinational dengan local companies, multinational ni, they have to meet the way that they operate. They often look from the bigger market requirement so they can enter bigger market. See? Okay, that's why they need to have that. But Malaysian company ni, until they are forced, and then they will do it. Because you know multinational, they got operation globally, right? They used to it. Yeah. Whatever they impart, right? They started to look, what if they are the area. There's other requirements, so they prepare for that. So all plans, but in Malaysia different. That's why they need to have the legal requirement. As for now, the way I look at it, I think the private sector is making the progress. Okay, but especially multinational, even they're looking for office, and they look for some kind of green office. But Malaysian company, even though they have smart building, but is the building is managed smartly? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I
thank you.
I cannot give the answer because okay, but that's my answer lah.
Yeah lah, because for us, when we deal with multinational companies, of course their preference is satu MSC building, kedua, you know, are they green buildings, and it is a requirement for them to be located in green buildings. So you know, people like Shell.
The market requirement, the corporate requirement.
Yes, that's right. So itulah. But we see, you're right. We see lack of local companies who are looking at locations which has all this, you know, green elements, energy management. Because at the end of the day, for them is dollar and cent lah.
But honestly, for just to share with you, that's why even my field, management consultant of energy, that's why most of my clients are multinational because they appreciate this kind of input. So I can tell you, most of my clients for management consultancy, all are because they appreciate this kind of input before they're making decisions. Okay, nation company they tengok, okay, this one cheaper, kan, something like that, you know. They don't value that so-called inside the input, the direct input for making decision, you know. I hope that answer your question lah.
Okay. Yeah.
Other questions? I'm happy
from the floor, the rest, check on the chat room.
Some living already.
I think tak ada on in the group chat, tak ada.
Live?
Hi.
Yes, salam. Siapa?
Hi, I'm Alice here.
Yes, Alice.
From Agenta Medicine. We are the concession for government hospitals, Northern region. So basically, I want to ask you, are you saying that the IoT systems can replace the BMS?
Actually, okay. It will actually the fundamental of IoT is BMS, right? Sama
Yeah,
aja.
correct. Yeah, correct.
Actually, IoT is the next level of BMS.
Oh,
Right? Because BMS just collect data and basic control, right?
yeah.
IoT will collect data and analyze it and will allow you to respond instantly, right? In
Yeah.
real time.
So based on your previous slide,
Yeah.
you mentioned that BMS don't have the real-time monitoring,
Yep.
just
It's not
monitor
real
and
time, tapi
control.
data analyze.
Oh, okay.
You need to first.
Coming from BMS background last time, actually BMS do have real-time monitoring and data logging.
Yes.
So BMS can export the data.
Yes. Yes.
The IoT we can say as extension of BMS.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
and
to do
analyze
the
it further, even you can program in such a way that you can control the operation based on certain value that you set.
yeah. So IoT cannot replace BMS.
No for replacement, it's about
Can.
enhancement.
Yeah, enhancement.
Yes, they will. Because if you go for IT, you don't have to dismantle all the BMS.
Yeah.
You can interface, right? You link it to the online lah.
So for new building, they
Yes.
during the design stage, they still need the BMS to be installed, but the enhancement of BMS lah include the IoT.
Features lah.
Yeah.
So they can link it online. Otherwise, you have to take out and then put the new to link it online. Ready.
Yeah.
Ideally, when you design your BMS, you should consider the energy management element already.
Basically, some of the BMS, some of the BMS brands,
you should consider energy efficiency element already. What kind of data to collect to set the SU and all that lah. All right. I hope that answered your question. Thank you.
One more thing.
Yes.
So for the existing building, if we wanna employ this IoT enhancement on our BMS, existing BMS system, how about the cyber security? I mean the data security.
It's
any opinion?
Beyond my knowledge.
Yeah, I mean from your past experience.
I think he knows better than me, Razi. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, I think that's beyond me. I'm more energy part. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Alice, for your question.
All right.
I know you speak, monitoring system at the Agenta, right? I went to your
CNC.
Okay, well done.
Yeah, we got the monitoring system for hospitals energy management lah.
Yes.
Because we need to submit to MOH monthly energy savings and all.
Yes.
So just I'm thinking about the because MOH is going to have all the hospitals certified as green by 2025. Yes. So I'm also the GBI facilitator and also the lead consultant. Yep. But I'm thinking of this IoT enhancement for the hospitals. So it's quite challenging for the existing building.
Not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Anyone? Siapa lagi tadi ada dengar tadi nak tanya tadi?
Ya, Assalamualaikum Cik Zaini.
Assalamualaikum. Siapa ni?
Saya Iqbal dari TMBX.
Khabar Iqbal, kita nampak je.
First and foremost, I would like to send the regards from my managing director, Mr. Nirinder Singh, to you.
Oh, Mr. Joel, okay. Yes. What's your question then?
Okay. For your information, in TMBX, we already embarked in developing IoT-based energy management system lah with our partners, TMB Research, and some of external partners.
Okay.
But there are also quarters that came to us saying that IoT-based energy management system alone is not enough. You must have BIM being enabled to it. I argue back, building information model is a civil thing. So how can it be relevant to the energy domain? So what are your thoughts on this?
Put it this way lah, okay? Put it this way. When it comes to this technology, for me, you look what you need, don't overdo it.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me it's simple because the way that we talk about technology, right? You can talk anything from the earth until to the sky. Simple as that. Okay, but what you need? Okay, for example, IoT itself, even in one building, what kind of the application you want to apply? I don't recommend all. For energy point of view, I look at focus on your significant energy use. The one that you using energy the most. Okay, this is where you need to put all the hardware or the meters or that, and then you link to the system. And then to what level you want to get to what grade, how detail you want to get data, because more detail, more cost. So you define your need, and then you customize accordingly. Okay. If your need require BIM, let it be lah. If no need, just for the sake of just follow the trend, blah blah. For me, I'm practical person.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that we are on the same page. We also rejected the proposal.
For me, it's okay because sometimes there are demand for that. Okay, there are customers that require some kind of up to that extent, but you have to customize it. All right, that's my answer lah. I hope that answer your question.
Yeah, thank you. Just wanted to hear your thoughts.
All right, thank you, Encik Iqbal. Any more? Ini hari ketiga online ni. Semalam full day, kemarin full day, now esok 3 jam lagi dengan online seminar 3 jam. New normal.
Yalah, this is how it is going to be for the next few months.
So pity the hotel industry and airline industry lah. People sometimes, some of them prefer to be sitting on their room, instead of going traveling.
Okay, I think tak ada so far. There are no further questions.
Sorry, Mr. Zaini, one more. Just for the energy act you mentioned before. Is there any benchmark for energy performance included in the act?
There will be.
Okay.
Government is somehow they are now. I was told they are now appointing some consultant or that to do all the benchmarking study of that.
Oh, the one under ST.
There will be a study conducting to establish the benchmarking for building sector in Malaysia.
Oh.
Establish the BI value for different category of building. That will be the
because MOH also do the BI benchmarking for just sharing for hospitals.
Don't worry, they will come to you.
Yeah, so just because
Why I'm telling you, because I'll be the one that leading the project.
Oh, okay, cool. Because you might heard that our hospital Sultanah Maliha in Langkawi got the LEED certification gold rating. But for the energy performance, we scored 100%, which is 20 points under LEED, because the hospitals, the benchmarking, they benchmark the energy performance with US hospital, which is not quite accurate for our hospitals lah. So that's why I'm asking about our national benchmarking.
Haven't got that yet. They're now the target for the benchmarking for the thermal energy, not the building.
Oh, okay.
We need to have that. Otherwise, the act won't be difficult to enforce the act.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, kalau tak ada, thank you very much all of you. Okay, for listening. Okay, I hope the slide will be shared. Okay, you can either you email to me direct here. I can email to you, or you can send to the organizer. Alright, so that they can email to you the PDF format of this slide. And I think they're also recording this session. And this session will be uploaded into the YouTube as well. Don't worry. Okay, now everything is available. Okay, and then thank you very much for your questions. And I hope I wish you all the best in Bakti Energy Management in all your facilities. And I hope we can see you again. Thank you again, Cik Razi, for inviting me.
Thank you, Cik Zaini, for your sharing sessions. Okay, so I guess that's a wrap, and we will forward to all participants the recording and also the slide. And I hope to see you guys soon. Stay safe. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.